Hey everyone, pregnancy update number 3. Okay, so I came back and I took period-inducing medication, and I went and had an ultrasound done to see what's going on, if everything's okay. I think, when was this? I started this figuring out pregnancy journey in May 2023 or June 2023, and now we are in January 2024, still no pregnancy. And so yeah, we were gonna have an ultrasound to see what's going on. I got my blood work back saying that my thyroid is okay, so that's great news, everything's healthy there. But my main issue is that I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, which about 1 in 5 women have, from what I recently looked up. So yeah, so this has been my journey so far. And when they did the ultrasound, I actually thought it would be an ultrasound like on my stomach, like they show in the movies, and that's how they did it before when I was 20 years old. But it actually, they stick it right up and it's much more accurate that way. And they saw that I wasn't ovulating, even though I'd induced my period, to make sure that's normal. So the next steps that I had available to me as options, which I was actually excited for, I thought, oh no, it's just IVF for me or something. But there is some steps in between that you can try before you go to IVF. So one thing was I was going to Australia and India for some international trips, and then coming back over December and January. So, my specialist women's doctor said, go on those trips, who knows, you might get pregnant, and then come back, and then we can follow this process and figure this out and take the steps forward. So pretty much there's ovulation inducing medication that's an option for people when they maybe reach my stage. And so what that means is you take period-inducing medication, so your periods are regular, and then you take ovulation-inducing medication on the 3rd day of your period to the 7th day of your period. And then at the 2-week mark, I'm going to go have another ultrasound and see if the ovulation-inducing medication actually triggers like an egg to be ready to be released. So the main issue with PCOS is I don't have regular periods, so my eggs are just being stored and they're not being released. So we need to release the eggs so something can happen. So they started me on the lowest dose of ovulation-inducing medication, and it actually increases the chances of twins by 5 to 10% or something like that. That was one of the side effects. But yeah, open to giving this a go. So I haven't had my ovulation. I haven't had my ultrasound yet to see how the medication did, but that's coming up in about a week and a half, so I can give you more updates after that. And then so they will see if that level of ovulation medication was enough to trigger the egg to be released and ready to go. If it's not, then they'll bump up the ovulation medication in intensity until they and then we'll keep doing ultrasounds until they see an egg that's ready to be let go, and they'll be like, okay, that's the good amount for you. And we'll try that for up to 6 months to see if you get pregnant. And if it doesn't work in 6 months, then your option is to go to a fertility clinic to check everything out, and yeah, and then IVF is one of the options there. And she said I could take the fertility treatment now if I wanted to, or try this ovulation inducing medication thing with her, and which is still covered by our health insurance and stuff. So I decided to go to this route first. Another thing that I think was important to note was, yes, that on average it takes the average 2 healthy people, every month they have a 1 in 4 chance of getting pregnant. So healthy odds for getting pregnant, my specialist doctor said, was 25%. So they're hoping that this ovulation inducing medication and period inducing medication will get me to a healthy probability of getting pregnant, which is still only 1 in 4, which I didn't know that. So that's really good to adjust my expectations. Also, yeah, I think my brother read me stats yesterday. Well, I didn't personally look up the studies that he read out to me, but he read out the statistics that I think by the age of 30, your fertility has gone down by 50%. By, I can't remember. And then it just like, it went down a lot at 35, and then it was like, went down significantly at 40. So yes, good to know, but I'm taking all the right steps, so that's all good. But yeah, going to the next step on this journey.